Test 1, 2, 1, test 1, 2, test. Hello. I have to start talking even though it feels awkward because, like, one of my kids is standing right there. Feels weird. I don't know why. Going with nuggets. Okay, so I'm September, also known as 9 of 12. A bit of a kitchen witch here to help you out. If you think you can't cook, if you don't know how to cook, if you screwed up and you were afraid to try again, I just want to share budget friendly, not too hard recipes, methods, in case you don't know some methods and want to learn new ones. Feel free to always join my Discord, which I should post about, and let me know what you want to learn about. We've talked about all kinds of cool shit like why different potatoes are good for different things, and um, there we go. Why, what you can do with a bechamel, like what that is, right? Cream sauce, but all the different things you can turn it into. And yeah, budget-friendly meals I love to do. I love to grab stuff that, I don't know, I got at the food pantry when I was using it, or you will commonly find at a food pantry, and make something delicious out of it, like dal. That was a new thing for me, getting really deep dive into Indian food and making my own masalas. Um, and I'll be doing that again soon. I'll be making it tonight. I don't know if I'll do it on stream, but everything I've done on stream, I've been uh, backing up on YouTube. So if you're here on YouTube, you know that. If you're on Twitch Live, um, and you miss something or want to see what else you might have missed along the way, feel free to pop over to the YouTube and check out the archive of stuff. So, what I'm doing today is I am making an enchilada casserole. I really like this. I know it exists, there's recipes out there. I made it up a while ago. I was making enchiladas. I love enchiladas. It's like my favorite. It's hard for me to get anything else when I go out for Mexican because I just loves it. And it's kind of it's a barometer for me of a Mexican place, like their enchilada sauce, which I'm using a can, so I guess I shouldn't be such a snob. But um, mole is another good test, but only if you know what you're looking for. Anyway, I was making enchiladas and I was like, why am I wrapping this up? Why am I softening, steaming or microwaving these tortillas um, to wrap them and then just put sauce and cheese on them and bake them when if I just layer everything like a lasagna, it's going to be the same thing. Mm. So I need to see if I have any leftover. Here we go. So I started doing that, and it's really good. And are you using the microwave?
Right.
Bummer. I was about to use the microwave. Okay. So when I do make, oh, I can use up the rest of this, which I love. Um, Enchiladas, I make, chicken ones or beef ones and bean ones, bean and cheese ones. Um, Sometimes red, sometimes green. But today I'm going to be doing, sometimes when I do the casserole, I'll do half and half or whatever. So what I'm doing right now is mixing some salsa, leftover salsa, into these refried beans from a can. I'm gonna nuke it to soften it up, so that I can spread it out real easy in a layer. And because I'm gonna put chicken that I previously cooked and shredded, I just did this at like a 4-minute. I seasoned it with my homemade taco seasoning, which if you saw my seasonings stream, you can go look. And if not, use whatever seasoning you like. Fajita seasoning, just throw some cumin and chili powder, whatever you want, on chicken breast. And then I put it with about a cup of liquid in the Instant Pot for like 4 or 5 minutes. Let it release for 10 and then shredded it up. So I'll be using this shredded chicken in a layer, corn tortillas in another layer. I got enchilada sauce in a can, and these beans, and Mexican style grated cheese. Now, normally I just cook this and bake it. Little different today is that, let me get this in the microwave. I'm just going to give that like a minute and a half. Oops. Normally I load it up and then I bake it right away. This is for some friends. One of them has been diagnosed with a cancer recently. I'm going to spray the bottom of this. And so I'm going to take, a freezer casserole and some other stuff to their house to help them out while, shit like treatments has to happen. So I'm going to make this unbaked. I'm going to make it, then I'm going to freeze it and deliver it to them with directions how to thaw and freeze, as one does, or as I do. I thought about baking it and then, I could give the reheat instructions, but the more I thought about it, that risks the cheese breaking more. If you don't know what cheese breaking is, it is when cheese separates, like the oil and the solids, and it sucks. We don't want that. So, I have a spatula, another one handy. You know what? I can get, we'll stir this sauce up. Speaking of separating, it is itself a little separated. Now, for the chicken, you can also, if you just got plain chicken or whatever, you grabbed a rotisserie and shredded it up. And you could use white meat or dark meat. This is white. You can just use some of the enchilada sauce to season the chicken. No problemo. And make that one of your layers. And then, make sure you want enough sauce in it. The key is so that when these, it soaks into the tortillas, and that kind of makes a layer of well, if you've had enchiladas, right? The sauce soaks into the tortillas and cooks them, and it's almost like a masa situation in this when you turn into a casserole. So let's get some sauce on the bottom. I've got like 2 big cans and a small can of sauce. I'm going to be eyeballing because I normally do kind of a larger pan of this. Like my regular 9x13 is a little larger than this disposable one. Just a little. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. And this doesn't have to be perfect, obviously, but you can easily fold it in half, tear it quarters, just to get those little gaps covered. If it gives you a concern, I'm not terribly concerned. Okay. Latter one. I did put a good bit of sauce under, so I'm not too. So I'm gonna get a little here. Gonna use my fingers. Did I take my yes, I took my rings off. Now, chicken or beans? What do we want first? I think I'm thinking about how it's going to cut, right? It doesn't really matter. This is really low stakes. I think I'm going to go with beans because having a little bit more solid layer on the bottom is ultimately going to make it easier to cut into squares when we're all finished. I imagine people just call this Mexican lasagna, right? I don't know. I didn't look up recipes for that. I just know that this has worked out great. As a matter of fact, when my daughter found me, anyone who doesn't know, I have a daughter I had when I was 16. I gave it for adoption. She found me a couple years ago, and then she was coming to visit, and I met her, well, first at the hotel she checked into, and then we all had a family dinner at a brewery some friends of mine owned, and this is what I made. This enchilada casserole. You can also really vary the spice on this any way you want. I'm using a mild enchilada sauce. Hot ones do exist. I put a little medium salsa in these beans to give them pliability. And yeah, I'm going to use about half of these beans because I do want this totally coated. So every layer, every piece in the layer gets some. And if I don't get to another bean layer, I'll just make a smaller casserole for me and my one kid in the house that will eat such a thing. Okay. Now, let's go with another layer of tortillas. Like I said, just like your lasagna. Just doing the thing. I'm going to break up some of these because I will want them to... Ooh! Cover my corners and stuff. And as an example of doing this a couple different ways. No stress. Yeah. So this is a fairly regular go-to at my house. Definitely good to bring to a potluck. I mean, if you hate enchiladas, I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. So, yeah, my daughter and her husband and my grandbaby at the time, I mean, she's still my grandbaby. She's bigger now, and has a brother. Here we go. Now, for this, I'm not going to add sauce right away because I've just got the shredded chicken, and I'm going to add sauce on top of it to kind of complete this layer. I want a lot of chicken in here. This is to feed a family of 4. I can't remember how many chicken breasts I did. I think I did 4, but probably don't need all of them. They were big. You know how they sell pterodactyls in the store these days. You can also use ground beef with like some kind of taco seasoning, whatever you would put in enchiladas. You can just use bean and cheese. You can... Oh, I might have put cheese on top of those beans. That's okay. I want it to be at least, semi-healthy. This is feeding, friends and their children. Like, do you put cheese in every single layer? Not necessarily. But yeah, you can use ground chicken that you cook up with, taco seasoning or whatever seasoning. In that vein, you can basically use taco meat. Okay. Now I'm going to pour some enchilada sauce on here. Yeah, this is not as deep as I want enough liquid here that it cooks the chicken just that little bit more. I mean, even though it's cooked all the way to shredding stage, I when the casserole's heated, I want to cook that little bit more so it's not hard to slice through. Okay, cheese definitely. You can use cheddar. This is a Mexican blend with Monterey Jack, Asadero quesadilla. It's finely shredded. You can use thicker. That doesn't matter either. I'm going to really pushing it to stick another layer on here, but I really do want another layer. Because that's not enough layers. I suppose technically enough layers. What do you think? What do you think? Well, there are 2 layers of tortillas, right? I just don't want to. I want them to be able to. I'm going to cover it in foil before putting the plastic top on. I don't want it to be so that the foil, like cheese, sticks to it. I really wish these disposable containers were deeper. You know what? Person I'm giving it to is a real smart guy. And I feel like I can say tent with foil and it's not going to be any kind of problem that can't be easily overcome. Nope. We get a little here, cover the corner, and there. Okay. It's a lot more chicken left than I expected. That's fine. Let's get more chicken. Let's get another chicken layer. Well, a hearty meal. We want this to last them a couple of days once they thaw it and cook it. They will include instructions. I'm going to be making a couple other things. We'll see what I do and do not stream. How long have we been at it? A really short time. I might just continue on cooking. I'm going to make some dal, the red lentil dal I've made before on stream. I think I'm going to make some sloppy joe. I figure the sloppy joe and the dal can be easily shrink wrapped. Shrink wrapped, is that the right word? Vacuum sealed into bags that they can just throw in a pot of water, heat it up and eat. Right? I got a big thing, a family size thing of jasmine rice, so that when they do decide to have, I'm going to push it down. There we go. The dal, they don't have to fart around with making rice to go with it. All right. This feels good. I'm gonna get the rest of the sauce on here. So for a disposable size 9 by 13, or whatever it is, cake pan, 1 large can. It's like the bonus size, the 28 ounce. Can of enchilada sauce is sufficient. If you're using a bigger one, definitely get another can. It comes in smaller cans too, just so you've got, because it being dry is a bummer. It is no bueno. All right, cheese on there. And ta-da! I'm excited. And I have ingredients to go ahead because I got a small thing. I'm gonna make another small one for me and my son that will eat it. So for now, here's what I'm going to do for a method. I am going to use the plastic cover that goes on there and freeze it like that. Then when everything's nice and solid, I'm going to cover it with foil so that they don't have to be arsed with much more than yanking this off to go ahead and stick it in the fridge to thaw and then stick it in the oven to cook. I'm so excited. If you haven't used these before, be really careful and pick them up from underneath. Otherwise, they could just collapse on you and ruin everything. I've been lucky enough to not have that happen with any full dishes, but I have definitely had almost accidents with stuff like pulled pork. Jeez Louise. Speaking of which, I smoked a butt yesterday. Anybody who hangs out in my Discord already knows that. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to use this. Throw another one together to put in the oven. How about that? Let me rinse this out quick because I'm going to use this 9x9 to make one for home. I'm welcoming other suggestions. I'm going to deliver this stuff on Saturday. So I only have so many days left to cook. But this was in the plan. Dal is in the plan because dal I'm going to throw in the Instant Pot. And that's going to be done super fast. And I'm probably going to do a double batch at least to also have some at home. So my friend who I'm cooking for, if you see this, don't feel any kind of way. I'm like double dutying home meals and freezer meals to get this done. And a lot of times I get tortillas, corn tortillas. You could use flour tortillas for this. I wouldn't prefer it. I'm going to say corn is the right call. I think a corn allergy would be the only reason to not use corn for this, for texture and flavor purposes. Like, I get disappointed when I go to a Mexican restaurant and they say the enchiladas, it's just automatically flour tortilla. I mean, what are you doing? I mean, I guess it's fine for a taco, but not into it. Okay, sorry. I know I'm rambling. That's okay. It's okay. Also have a sniffle. I keep forgetting to take an allergy pill for. So, enchiladas, dal, sloppy Joe, a little bit. I can't remember what else I was thinking about making. Oh, Golumkis. But I feel like I need to like message my friend and see if they're at all interested in that. Um, Regardless, I'm gonna probably be making the Glumpies on stream whenever. If I need to make it before I go deliver, now I can put my hands in my mouth and everything because it's for the house. And I'm gonna put cheese on this layer. Golubkis, if you don't know, I think that's the Polish name. Although Hungarian use it too. But anyway, it's an Eastern European dish. Stuffed cabbage rolls. And there was beautiful cabbage. Well, I got a good deal on some nice ground beef while getting it for um, sloppy joes, for spaghetti and meatballs that I've been craving, whatever. Sorry, gotta get more cheese. And there was beautiful local cabbage in the Food Lion, so I grabbed a head and I threw it in the freezer. So stuffed cabbage rolls are, it's a combination of like rice and seasonings and meat, like ground beef, in wrapped up in cabbage and then cooked. The rolls are cooked in like a tomato sauce. I grew up with it like being tomato soup, and I've seen a lot of recipes with that, but I kind of had become averse in my, I don't know, snobby age. I mean, sometimes you got to make do, and tomato soup is fine. Chicken. Um, I have a recipe I've never tried that has ginger snaps in with the tomato sauce. I don't know, the flavors sound good to me. But anyway, I gotta see if that family. I don't want to give them something they're just not gonna eat. I already asked about the spiciness, and by the way, my enchilada casserole, I like to put pickled jalapenos on the top, and I left them off because he can add them himself, or they can add them themselves. I didn't want to make it overly spicy unintentionally and ruin it for them. When I'm making it for a crowd, I put jalapenos on half. So I'll ask about the Golumkis because um the cabbage is already in the freezer. So this is a trick I learned growing up making Golumki with my mom, my grandma and stuff, or having my mom's. We always did this thing where you like boil the cabbage in a big pot, and you kind of gotta like lower this head of cabbage into the water, and as it cooks a little bit, you take the leaves off, you pull the leaves out, and like bit by bit by bit. It's a very painstaking process to get the cabbage leaves to do the rolls. I don't know where I saw it. I think it might have been Julia Child watching her. I'm not certain. But if you just throw freaking cabbage, the whole head, in the freezer, when you thaw it, the leaves come off one by one and they are wilted to the way you need them to be able to just make your cabbage rolls. So I've been doing it that way ever since. I will definitely never go back. I can't see. Like, it would have to be the apocalypse where I'd have to, boil water on a fire because I didn't have a freezer to go back to the old method that I grew up with. So if I have, I'll ask if they want, I'll make sure I have time. Then I'll ask if they want them. And if they don't, or I don't have time, I will just make them like next week or something. Okay. I think I'm gonna, more sauce. Got a small can. Doop. I'm excited about that. I'm pretty freaking sure I have not made them on stream. Hey, Rummy Girl, how are you? Um, I almost tried the store brand. Um, I've used a few different brands, and actually, I do like the Old El Paso. I like it better than um, I've tried a few different brands I get at the Compare Foods down the street. I've got a very Hispanic store down the street, which is where I had to go get like a Serrano today, like a weirdo, for making the doll. But yeah, I really do like this brand, and because it's for, somebody else, I went ahead and got what we would something I know is actually really good. I think La Cocina is one they have at Compare that I'm just not. I was kind of disappointed in. I eventually intend to make my own. I've got a cookbook like that I got probably at a yard sale. I love to collect cookbooks. Um, that's got a lot of southwestern recipes. It comes from a region over there, and and it's really old, and it's got a homemade um, enchilada sauce recipe in it that I'll get around to. But it's one of those things too, like once I make it myself, oh shit, right? Then it's gonna be like better than anything I can get out of a can, and I will have spoiled myself. I do that with a lot of food. All right, cool. So now I have a casserole in the freezer for the Frankenberger family. I'm gonna throw this one. Oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud. For friends. Uh, throw this one in the oven for me and my son. I'm not even gonna cover it. I don't care enough. Do you make enchiladas or do you do like an enchilada casserole like my shortcutty butt does? Both. Oh, actually, this the small can I use for the home casserole is actually the Food Lion one. That's right. That was my solution because I still did want to try that. Now, I still got some. What time? How long have I been live? I don't know. Hey, if I make it homemade and it turns out really really good, I'm likely to can it. I'd have to test the acidity to see if it can be safely canned without pressure, but my friend Lori is investing in a pressure canner, and we will definitely be doing projects. And if I find a really good homemade enchilada sauce recipe, pardon me, I had to blow my nose. You can bet Lori and I will like spend a day making a shit ton and canning it. So, next, this is another thing I'm going to be taking to my friends. I'm going to get a cutting board so I don't shred this pan. I smoked a pork butt yesterday. And I need to shred it. And depending on how much is here, I will be so there's 4 in the family I'm taking food to. And then there's 3 in the family of my friend who's living in the Motel 6 right now after my friend had a stroke. And the dad in that family is like really into like smoking butts and stuff. We always make sure the other person knows when the butts go on sale at Food Lion. But he's not in a position to do anything like that right now. one of the first things I did when Marianne had the stroke was, um, damn it, I'm looking for my meat fork. I think it's outside. Um, was smoke a butt and take it over to them at their house before an evil landlord raised their rent and they had to move. Um, so, depending how much is here, all told, it's cold. It's only hard to shred because it's cold. It's definitely fall off the bone shreddable. I did it to the whole 195 degrees last night after smoking it. I smoked it for about 8:30, about 7 hours, and then I wrapped it in foil and to get past the stall, and then I ended up. It started to rain, so I brought it inside. But at that point, it's wrapped. It's not smoking anyway. But yeah, you can see nice, clean, off the bone. So super tender, yummy pork. I'll see if it's enough to, if it's way more than enough for 4 people, what I'll do is split it into some for the trip to Colombia and some for my friends in the motel, which they're very kind and gracious people. I gave the son some money last week, and I'm like, please do something nice for your dad. Oh, who else we got in here? Mr. Badpaw. Good to see you. Yeah, well, I can't help it, Ronnie. It's just how I am. If I can, I will, you know? You gonna listen while you wash cars? Well, you missed, I think, Badpaw, the whole actual thing the stream was for, which was the chicken enchilada casserole. But, like I mentioned before, for folks who are watching me live on Twitch, you can catch all the archives on YouTube. Twitch only saves the videos for, I don't even know how long, a couple weeks, a month, something like that, because I'm an affiliate. I'm not a partner. I don't think even partners can keep them forever. But anyway, I just archived everything to YouTube. So if you want to see how I threw that together, that's great. Oh, I should give the, for anybody who's interested in cooking it, $3.50 for about 40 minutes. We'll do it. And if you freeze it like I did, thaw it, and then $3.50 for 40 minutes. If you thaw it after cooking it, well, what I've done there is if I've got some left after I make some, I split it into individual portions or dinner size portions, and then you can just nuke it. Or even throw it in the air fryer, put some fresh cheese on top, whatever you want to do. So we got 2 kids and 2 adults, and then basically 3 adults. I gave my friend some money to get, I hope he didn't tell his father where it came from, something for his dad, but he told me he did end up like getting them dinner and then giving some to his dad to ease his burden, on the hotel, which is fine. I mean, a roof over the head is more important. I was just trying to do something a little separate and make sure, you get his dad something for Father's Day. My friend's been going through it, taking care of his wife and kids through all this as best he can. Ooh, it smells good. My body smells like smoked meat again. It's like one of my favorite things. I should have done this. I would have done this last night when it was all warm and easier, but it was midnight before it got to temp, and it needed to cool down before it could even go in the fridge. So At midnight, I went to bed and I told my son, who was still up doing laundry, that he's sadly behind on. Rummy, you should come over. You can come over. I could give you some. Um, I was like, okay, before you go to sleep, take that butt, put it in the fridge. I don't want to put it in there and like ruin all the food in the fridge by putting it in too hot. This bark is barky, which tells me yay. Lots of nice smoke in there. Um, yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have enough for both families. Yes. And you know what? This cost me nothing but some time. Well, I mean, in the moment, because every once in a while, my Food Lion gets butts on sale. And Sean and I text each other, "Did you see the butts?" For 99 cents a pound. And I always grab a couple and throw them in the freezer for being able to do this, for being able to, it's what I make sausage with, is pork butts. Instead of buying separate fat and meat and blah, 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 it's like pretty much the exact proportion for the sausages I make, which are primarily Polish and Italian. This cheap fork's not doing me any favors, though. Look. Oh. I think I have to eat a little piece. Make sure it's okay. It's okay. The prep for this this butt was only Bam. My friend Sean is very particular. He coats it in, he uses mustard and then puts all his seasonings on. The more I play around and experiment, I okay, I'm in for Tuscan chicken. I've never made Tuscan chicken. I could totally get into that. That and somebody cooking for me. It doesn't happen all that often. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm proud. This one turned out really good. Anyway, Sean, he coats with mustard, and then he has all these seasonings and all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? I tried his way. I know a lot of people do it that way. I've seen competitors do it that way. But just like when you smoke almost any meat, like cured when I do my bacon and stuff, you want it dry. Like you leave it open, uncovered in the fridge overnight to dry out, and that really, the smoke sucks in really well. And I found that using his mustard method made it so that, the smoker has to spend that first bunch of time um, waiting for that to evaporate. And then if the meat seals, you don't get as much smoke inside. So I find it comes out smokier, which I like, if I just coat it with seasonings. Now, when I say Bam, what I'm referring to is Emerald Lagasse's Creole seasoning, not the stuff you buy in the store. That is different. I don't know. It's just not very as good. It's way saltier. Maybe it's because the spices aren't fresh anymore. Maybe it's because it's got anticoagulants in it. Who knows? But I make it from scratch. You can find the recipe online. I keep a copy of it printed out in my cupboard, and I just keep it in the house. And as a matter of fact, I make a version without cayenne, the baby Bam, for my son who can't tolerate cayenne anymore, and I take it to his house. I had a friend move away who really liked it, and so I made her a bunch, and then her husband died in a motorcycle accident, and when I found out he had found it in the cupboard and started cooking with it, and like all his club and everybody were into it from the barbecues he was having. So I got a bunch of little jars, like I have for a lot of my concoctions, and I made a whole bunch. I made a big canister for my friend, and then I made a bunch of little ones so that his friends that came to the memorial could take some home with them. And I loved being able to do that. That's like the best. In my house, yeah, I'll show you with my messy hand. It's kind of funny because this jar has been around. I've got it like in an old, big old paprika jar. And it just says BAM on it in Sharpie. And I just keep refilling it. Um, you know what? I will post in my Discord in the recipe section. I'm going to go ahead and I'll put the BAM recipe in there because it really is just, it's so worth keeping in the cupboard. But that's all I rubbed on this butt, and it's freaking delicious. I mean, the smoke definitely did its part. Um, and I found for quick seasoning, and it's so great. It's got a variety. It's got oregano and thyme and garlic and onion and paprika and salt and pepper in it, and it doesn't, depending what you put it on, it doesn't make everything taste the same. Like I can throw it on some chicken and then bake the chicken in the oven and it's good, but I can throw it on some pork chops and cook them, and the different, whatever you're putting it in kind of brings a different element out to me. So yeah, it's one of the handy things. I think I probably made this on my Spice Blends episode, if anybody wanted to find it on YouTube because they missed it. Um, that's another way to see how to make it. I usually just throw it in a spice blender or in my, I do big batches and I use my food processor. Yeah. Yeah, look how much, can you see how much it is? I should weigh it. Um, Actually, it's a good practice anyway. I can weigh it and see how much I got out of course, I didn't keep track of how big the butt was, but this is definitely, oh, I'm excited. This is more than enough for 2 families, so I will split it up and text the locals and get theirs over. And then I think I'll shrink or I'll vacuum seal the portion that's going to South Carolina Saturday. I took my car in to get fixed today because Rob ended up surprise getting a gig Thursday night. And I have Thursday afternoon, I'm driving to Gastonia to take my friend to the doctor. He shows up here sometimes, but Barney's car doesn't work. Oh, and he's been my co-host on Heresy and Hearsay. But Barney's diabetic, and he's been having some kidney trouble, stones. Oh, how much does that suck? So I'm taking him to the doctor Thursday, but Rob got a gig, and my car went to the shop, and they have to have it back to me by Thursday, or we're gonna have a problem. Um, and it's costing twice what I thought it was going to fix it. Boo. It's okay. I'll handle it. Everything's fine. Now, I gotta figure out sauce to send with both of these folks. Normally, I'd make sauce. Okay. My local friend, I'm gonna ask what he wants me to throw together. I'm sure he has very specific ideas because he's a barbecue guy. It's a little piece of connective tissue. For the folks in South Carolina, pardon me, I have some jarred rhubarb barbecue sauce I made, but it's a little weird. I mean, I like it, but I'm a little weird. So look at, ah, almost no waste from all that hunk of meat. So I think maybe I'll just get like a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's. You can't go wrong with Sweet Baby Ray's. I freaking love it. And I will not be insulted if somebody puts Sweet Baby Ray's on my smoked pork. It's dirty. Get my scale out. I'm curious how much we got out of that butt. Tear this because it's the same container, and I don't need ounces. 5 pounds, 8 ounces. Freaking awesome. So I think 2.5 pounds for the local family, right? And then the rest for the road trip. Wish I had a smaller disposable container. You know what? I'm going to use a Ziploc because in the hotel, they've got very limited freezer, fridge, cooler space, etc. Right? One. And you know what I'll do? It'll make it so I'm taking enough out of here that this should... Well, I was going to vacuum seal it. Shoot, I don't know. Maybe I should Google it, whether I'm better off. Sorry for all the spam Nightbot's given. It's just that time in the stream, apparently. I gotta get some of the good burnt ends parts in there. Because like I said, Sean's a barbecue nerd. Some juiciness. Mix this up now that it's thawed, actually, to get the fat and juice back into the meat. I'll find out. Now, vacuum sealing is always going to be better for preserving the integrity of anything. So I don't want to do that in a tray. But I think this is plenty. It's just over a pound. All right, well, whatever. 1.13, let's make it 2.5. Just for the sake of it. For my local buddies. I mean, I can never live up to Sean's, but, you know, it's according to, I mean, his family, of course. That's what, you're used to what you're used to. Moms and dads are always best. And grandparents. Yep. It shot up to 2 pounds all of a sudden. Whatever the hell. All right. Fine. 2 pounds for them. The rest will be for the trip. And I'm going to wash my hands, seal that bag, get out the vacuum sealer. I don't really need to do that on stream for you folks. Like, that seems silly. And I'll check the recipes section of Discord. I'm pretty sure I actually already put the BAM recipe in there. Just don't think of it when you're doing another stream down the road. Okay. Excited. I got to feed 2 families. Oh, I didn't keep any for me. Huh. I don't need any. I feel good. Like this will be a couple meals worth, I feel like, for the friends I'm taking it to in Columbia. Cool. Anything else? Anything else we need today, folks? I already did a bunch. I feel like, gosh, I could also throw in the doll. Like, has it even been an hour? Stream has gone really quick today. I appreciate you being here. Maybe I'll take a break and then maybe I'll decide I'll just to do the doll tomorrow. Maybe. Maybe. So cool. Thanks for coming. Gosh, I didn't take a picture of my enchilada casserole for the thumbnail like a genius. It smells good in here. This is 2 days in a row with my house smelling like barbecue. I think I will have to sneak a sandwich out of this bag. There's 3 of them. They don't need 2 pounds. I'll like stow a sandwich worth, or a little bowl worth just for myself. Oh, I want to show the other thing I was doing. So this is gin that I've been infusing with green tea. For those of you who know me and were at Nerdtacular and got the cocktail, or heard of the cocktail I invented based on the lip balm I took and gave away to folks, the lychee colada one. Sean, when we were developing that, suggested that a green tea bee's knees would be a great cocktail based on the other lip balm, which is green tea and honey flavored. So I've got this gin infused with green tea, and I'll be playing around with that sometime in the next couple of days. When I can sit and have a cocktail, I'll make a honey simple and do that. Yay. I love a bee's knees. I was really surprised more restaurants in Utah didn't have bee's knees on the menu because they had like honey, like beehives all over the sidewalk, and it was Honey Town. And I don't know what the Utah honey is, connection is, but I expected to see more bee's knees. So anyway, there's the chicken enchilada casserole. Probably what I'll do is take a picture of the one I've got. Oh, should I take it out of the oven? Let me check the time. Sorry. Oh, I didn't set a time. I thought I did. Oh boy. It looks a little weird. Oh no, it looks good. But is it warmed all the way through? I'm gonna stick my finger in. Dagnabbit. My brains aren't all the way on today. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I'm not going to taste on stream, but just trust me. It's a really good idea to make your enchiladas easy by turning it into a casserole. And I'll post a thumbnail of the smaller one I made for home, maybe the frozen one, at some point when I make this video a thing on Twitch. So cool. Thanks for being here, and I look forward to cooking with you soon. Oh, and I'll probably raid. I think Eat at Dad's is still on. Please stick around and say hi to him. I would love to win cookie club entries for rating his stream. I've twice won cookies from him, and they were so good. And he's my favorite food and drink streamer right now. I have a couple others I watch on the regular, but I kind of always tune into him. And use Bang Check-in when you get there, and you can get stuff like these cookie club entries where he mails you cookies and cute stickers and a nice note because he's a nice guy, for doing that. Like this is a sticker of a hat he wears sometimes. Invalid using Eat at Dad's. Oh, come on. Raid, Eat At, it's all one word, right? Yep. Cool. So please, you don't just say anything, and if you follow him, it's silent. He doesn't like to intrude on anyone else's privacy. I know you really might appreciate that, Rummy. I mean, you said hi in the chat, so I know it's okay to say hi to you, because I loves you. But he's really, like, he likes to lurk, and he doesn't like to be called attention to, and he doesn't like to have to chat or feel like he has to. So he's very respectful of any follows don't even get mentioned or alerted in the chat. He won't talk to someone until they talk to him first. So I actually love him for that too. But anyway, I look forward to cooking with you soon.